50. Whew. Sorry, just had to get in 50 muscle ups before I started this. Oh, I'm back. I didn't disappear for too long, but I'm back. We are here live and ready for Life with Mike, episode 4. And I hope you're excited to dive deep. We've got some good things to talk about today. So it's been about 4 weeks, I think, since I was last here in front of the camera with you all. It's been crazy, but it's been good crazy. So there's a lot happening at MFP right now. And it's just been like really full on in terms of like day-to-day running of the business and getting a lot of stuff off the ground again and cracking into the start of this first quarter. I can't believe it's almost over though. Like it's almost the end of the first quarter of the year. So training's been great. Life's been busy. Had things on, a couple of getaways, getting out of Melbourne, which has been cool. Another one coming up next week. So I'm excited about getting out of Melbourne a little bit, just like embracing this like heat wave that we've had for the last month and a half. It's kind of like we've had a late summer. The last 3 days have been absolutely scorching, but I've actually been really productive and got a lot of stuff done. So it doesn't matter what the weather, if you're ready to rip in and work hard, then you will rip in and work hard. So last 4 weeks, business, life, and training has been going well, and it's just been a hell of a ride just to really crack through. So I've been enjoying the process and ready to crack back into more content. Launched officially now, episode 1 of Train with Mike. So rather than keeping it in the Life with Mike, I've gone and made it its own sort of like category within the content of this long form stuff. Training with Mike, go check out the first episode. We're going deep on training concepts, give you a lot of free education. I'm just going to start to unpack my brain into video content form and put it out there on YouTube and discuss the best training methods, concepts, and ideas and things that I'm using in my programming and stuff that we do here at MFP to help athletes get the best results possible. I've got some water, so sorry if I have a sip or anything and I start sweating because it's hot. Turn the fans off. Still like 35, 36 degrees here right now. 50 good days flying along. We're at day 32 now, so only 18 days left. The biggest challenge of the entire event just went down. It was a long weekend. So no doubt every person was under some sort of mental pressure with everything that's going on a long weekend to potentially either have a drink, eat some sugar, or eat some fried seed oil foods that we've been cutting out. Most likely also like a few things popped up, socialization events, and so potentially people have missed some training or their recovery. So it's always interesting to see how people navigate. It'll be great to check in with everyone next week and see who's done really, really well. I've had some amazing discussions with athletes. We're getting some really great results, both mentally and physically. So mentally, people feeling really sharp, really motivated, really switched on. They're feeling proud of themselves, which for me is huge, because the moment you start feeling proud of yourself, your confidence boosts, it leads into everything else that you do, and you make better decisions in all aspects of your life. So for me, I love when athletes come up to me and tell me about it, and that sense of pride of the achievement of what they're doing. There have been like a lot of little tasks along the way, so it's not just been, do the simple steps of cutting some stuff out at the start. So it's definitely a really rewarding process when you start to put all these great habits that you can and build these daily routines around the best performance lifestyle habits that you can have to maximize your training and lifestyle. So for me, I'm actually clocked over 50 days of no sugar. So what did I do to celebrate? I didn't have any sugar. It's been the best thing that I've done for a long time. I'm quite switched on when it comes to like nutrition and lifestyle stuff. My sleep's still not 100%, but in terms of like my recovery, my energy, my daily productivity and outputs, like it's at all-time highs. And I just can't think that that's got to do with taking processed sugar out of my diet in large quantities when it comes to sweet desserts or cakes or treats. Now, I have disclosed the whole time I'm still having things like sauces or natural forms of sugar such as fruit or honey, which has been a lifesaver for me in terms of making sure my calories are up. One of the other things, like I'm not trying to decrease my body fat, but right now I'd be at all-time low body fats. All-time low body fat percentage it's not affecting any of my performance or anything like that. I'm able to perform at my absolute best. I've had PBs today in my training, and everything's been going really well in terms of like optimizing my performance for my training. The biggest opportunity for me is my sleep. Routine is like up and down. Sometimes it's really good. I'm getting high quality sleep and I'm getting to bed on time. Other times I'm sort of staying up a bit later. So when it's hot, I don't find that I can go to bed as early for whatever reason, and I typically wake up earlier in the morning, so my sleep's not as great, but I'm still feeling good. So we push forward, we push on. I have been consuming some quite a few sort of like of what they term the no sugar, low calorie drinks like kombuchas or soda leaves or the sparkling waters. It's been really hot, or some Fit Aids, which has a tiny bit of sugar in it, but not enough that it's significant like a sugary treat or chocolate or ice cream, etc. So I have been consuming those. It is summertime and hot, and so I have found myself having some of those. Probably see me touching the mic. We've got these new awesome polos. Everyone's raving about them, say we look more professional. So, fit in the mold of being highly educational and knowledgeable coaches, and now we've got the apparel to fit with it. Shout out Puma for the collab of letting us print logos on their products our athletes can get access to some of the stuff, and then for our team to have access. So leveling up, 50 good days. Now we're moving into a fun little towards the end of it, but it's not over. So there's 18 days left. There's still a lot of opportunities to improve and to try some stuff. Next week's probably the hardest week for people to wrap their head around what I'm going to be asking them to do, leading for the last 2 weeks. So there's 2 weeks of something that's actually probably the trickiest to wrap your brain around. So I'm looking forward to seeing the response to that and how people react to what it is that I'm going to ask them to do for this last 2 weeks. We've touched on my training. It's been going well. I'm on a creatine phase at the moment, so I'm taking creatine 2 scoops per day, 5 grams per scoop. So maybe that's helping with my training performance as well. Most likely, definitely an aid in that respect. So creatine is the #1 research supplement in the world with the best results in terms of how powerful it is for humans to consume, whether that's just for improved cognitive enhancement, energy, and or assisting you with your intensity of training. It's definitely something you should look into. And if you're serious, the best quality stuff, only top of the line, theessentialau.com. So check us out if you're going to have a crack at that. Read a book. So I got to jump on this part of the week in the 50 Good Days and was challenged to read a book. Actually, the book was bought for me, so that always makes me more accountable to want to not let someone down. So I find that I often just push myself, but it's nice to actually be accountable to doing something that's great, really good for you, but someone else is sort of leading you down that path, because typically it's always myself that does challenge myself or challenges others to do great things for themselves. And people typically look at me and go, oh, you must be doing everything right, but I'm not. And then it's really nice to be able to be challenged in my own life to be better. And there's definitely things I can be better at. So reading was one thing I talked about that it's definitely something I'd love to have in my life, and I have started, and I'm committed, and I'm enjoying the process. And I think the book really helps because it's a book that is just meant to be in my life at this moment. So I won't share on that yet until I'm finished it, but it's a powerful book, and I'm really engaged and enjoying the process of reading. And yeah, I look forward to continuing on with the reading, and it's just like a great tool. I'm really good auditory and video, so like I watch a lot of video content and listen to podcasts all the time, and I take on a lot of that information. But I've always said I think reading is a powerful tool, and also it just knocks me out, puts me to sleep. 10, 20 pages, boom, I'm gone. So read a book if you haven't. I won a touch grand final. So shout out to my team, the Deadlies. We won the A grade Western region touch competition. And shout out to Fabian for getting me involved, even though he wasn't in my team in the end. And just, yeah, a lot of fun. And what it did for myself, 37 years old, haven't played competitive sport for a number of years now. It really lit a fire in like the need for competition in your life, no matter what age, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're at. You need to be competing in something and challenging yourself to compete. I compete in the gym all the time, and I compete with my friends in like little fun activities and so forth, but I feel like there's just something about competing with other people, or whether that's against them one-on-one or in a team environment, that is super fulfilling and necessary for personal development and engagement in the world. So if you aren't doing a hobby or competing and doing something that challenges you, I definitely think you've got to get out there and do it. So recently, a number of times this has popped up, and I think this is probably the big thing from today, and I want to talk about this, is that there is a need for humans and people to surround themselves with people who will build them up, people who will push you to be better, people that will challenge you. So I talked about that before, about the book and myself and that example, and how grateful I am for it. I speak to a lot of athletes, whether they're overseas, international, in Australia here, or in my facility, and people that are sort of striving to get the absolute most out of life, entrepreneurship, business, and all walks of life. Like people that have already made it to the top, they've done everything, high net worth, big corporate CEO, company owners. I don't know, just throw every word at it that sounds cool there, Coach Mike, why don't you? But essentially, like, the environment and the network that you surround yourself with, and how powerful it is, and having people around you that are building you up and like you can connect with on a mental and emotional and lifestyle behavioral sort of connections that you can have with them, that are fulfilling to you, and like are the lifestyle that you want to employ on yourself. Because it is really hard to do it all and to be able to be intrinsically motivated all the time to do absolutely everything perfect. And I think it's super important to have a team of people around you. And I think if you look at success of people all around the world in all avenues, if you can hear the phone, apologies, I should have put on silent. The important factors they have around them are these teams of people assisting them, right? It's very rare, and there are probably a small amount of cases where people have huge amounts of success where it's just solely them. And I'm sure there are some small examples of that, but majority of the time, it's the team, it's the environment. Like Team MFP, this business would not be what it was without the people that have helped build it to this point. And it's taken a small army of people to be able to do that. So it's critical, it's super critical to be surrounded by people who are on a great journey that you can support and be a part of. And don't be afraid to talk to them about your fears and doubts around what you're doing or what you're not doing well. I think often everyone tries to hide some of those things, but everyone's very, very, very aware and receptive to thoughts, emotions, and mindset and your mentality when it comes to the modern world living and the environments that we're in. And I think the more you get comfortable having those conversations, the easier and better it is for you to be able to continue chasing what it is that you're chasing. So I have an athlete who's overseas at the moment, and we connected really quickly in a short space of time. And he has sent me several reminders about this. And so for me now, I now want to reach back out and make sure that I'm fulfilling him, because he didn't have to do that, but that was quite big and powerful for me to be able to be confronted with those ideas again of, like, you know, how powerful it is, and that even in a small dosage, some people can have an effect on your life. And I think sometimes we forget, this is where I want to get to for the last part, is like how far a small thing can actually go. So this is like me doing these videos, 100 views, 50 views, 30 views, whatever it may be, post on my stories, post on my feed. But the small micro that I forget about is that my influence on those 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200, whatever it is, people could have an expanded view far beyond that with the next 10, 15, 20 people that each of those people are influencing, which then goes down the tree. So even though it might feel like a micro sort of setting at the moment, the impact can be far larger than you realize just by impacting one person, because most likely they're going to impact someone else, and you could have been the start of that train. So I think it's super important to be aware of your thoughts and your presence and the conversations and the life opportunities that you have, and how something so small may actually be so powerful in the long run once it trickles down the tree and education and the ideas are then out there to everyone else. Because it can be really confronting trying to start something new or do something when you have a low footprint or reach. I think the bigger impact there is that you could be only influencing 5 people, but they could be influencing 5 more, which then goes to another 5, another 5, another 5, and that started with you. Now the impact's substantially greater. So don't be afraid of trying to do amazing things or do kind things for other people, and surrounding yourself with great people that are on a journey to uplift each other, build together, and to be better humans in the overall scheme of things. So don't get lost in the craziness that's out there. Reach out to people that are on that journey and just be a part of it, because you never know what opportunity or what thing's coming next, and you never know where life's going to take you. But the one thing you will do is have these moments, reflections, and thoughts where you were like, oh, I had an opportunity there, or a moment there where I could have potentially done something or could have made an impact. So you don't want to be thinking in those terms. You want to be trying to be thinking of like, wow, what did that actually do? How did I impact that? How could I be better next time that thing pops up? So yeah, being aware, being present, being thoughtful goes a long way. And I think the more power to people that are even on the micro scale out there trying to change others and assist others. So kudos to you if you're out there making a difference even on the micro scale. Like I am with these videos right now. We're on the micro, but that's great, because at the end of the day, for me, this is going to be fulfilling and uplifting when I look back on it in the next 5 to 10 years and go, it's exciting to see my journey and what I was talking about and where I'm going next, and then where I am in the future and what that looks like. So, which is what I'm going to talk about in the next episode. I'm going to try and do some future predictions and see what I say on video, and then project to the future and lead myself down this path of manifestation and life and all the opportunities that come along with it. So super exciting to be back, and it doesn't matter if you take a break, just get back and get going again. So it's like they say, a lot of people start things, a lot of people start podcasts, a lot of people start little things on their social media, and they get 5 to 10 episodes in and then they quit. So it's like in my head that's been there, and I'm like, I'm not stopping. I might have breaks, things might not be perfect, but I'm going to push through to what I said. I'm going to get down 100 episodes of these and 100 episodes of the Train with Mike series. And it might take me 5 years, but I'm going to continue to push forward with them, because that for me is like journaling and long form content that I'll be able to reflect on in the future. And I actually had a conversation with someone who said, I went and stalked the MFP Insta and went back through the vlogs. Yep, said it right. Didn't say my vlogs. And they're like, please do more. So here we are. Let's get a team. Have an amazing week. And I hope you continue to dominate life. Let's